Hello and welcome to a scene for Vampire by Gaslight. Today, Mr. Townsend has been asked to drop by and visit his friend Mr. Flynn. Well, friend is something of a exaggeration, but nevertheless, he has been asked to come and speak with him regarding a small favour that he would like to ask of Mr. Townsend. And they'll meet in a usual kind of seedy back room like before. Lisa is a lot better at describing these seedy and underground things than I am, but let's just say it's not a step up on the kind of place where he met you before.
No. And Peter
There is
will.
some disturbing sounds coming from upstairs.
Peter will make a note of that and then decide that for the good of his cause, he he probably has to ignore it for the moment. And he approaches Jack Flynn and says, "Mr. Flynn, you said you wanted to talk to me."
Yes. Regarding our little arrangement,
Aye.
a few favours from you here and there.
Mm-hmm.
There's a business that falls under my jurisdiction, but it doesn't seem to be paying in towards the fund which is for the protection of the entire neighborhood.
He nods. Aye. So if I may guess, you would like to get me to go over to the business owner and convince him to pay his share.
Yes. And if that fails, make an example of him.
Peter nods, certain that he will be able to convince him, and he says, "Very well, I will head over. I need to make a few arrangements first, but I will head over there as soon as I can."
Be sure and pick up a few matches on your way. It's a brewery. They tend to burn well.
They tend to what? Sorry?
They tend to burn well.
Okay. Yep.
And he'll give you the address.
Peter will take the address and he will look at it, and I'm guessing that by now he knows he knows where most of the stuff in Edinburgh's less fancy quarters sections are. So he says, I know the place. I'll head over there tonight."
You probably haven't been there before. Just because it's more interesting scene-wise that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a few streets away.
Yeah. But before that happens,
It's also just outside what you thought Mr. Flynn's area of influence was.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Peter
might be interesting.
Yeah. Well, Peter will look at the address and he will scratch his head a little bit, trying to find out what to do. But he had an arrangement and he sticks by his word, and it's not as if he should have much trouble convincing this guy to pay up. And it's not like he wouldn't do any damage to anyone. So he says, okay, I will do this, but I will need some time to make preparations. I will go there tonight, and he will nod to uh, to Mr. Flynn and leave. He does not. When he leaves, he does not go directly towards the place. Um, he will go to is there any cheap places where he could buy a mask or something?
Probably not open at this time of night,
No.
but it's not hard to
Take a piece of wood
improvise
and make something. Yeah.
because scarves quite common. Put one across your face, you're
Yeah.
pretty much set. Not to mention a lot of people would put them across their faces anyway because it's a bit chilly, especially at night, and it keeps your nose warm.
Yeah.
So it
I
wouldn't
just
be suspicious as an actual mask.
yeah. I don't. The thing is, I don't want people to recognize his face.
Mhm.
So he will go back to his place where he sleeps, and he will take a different scarf than what he usually wears. And actually also make a change of clothes. A little bit. He doesn't really have a lot, but he has a couple of different suits and changes of outfit. And he will take one that he hasn't really used in Edinburgh before. So he will not look like himself unless he takes off the scarf. And when he's satisfied with his disguise, he will head towards the address he's been given.
Okay. As you were told, it is a brewery.
Mm-hmm.
It is a brewery that has a bar attached to the front of it.
Mm-hmm.
So the bar is open at this time of night.
Yeah. I enter, and then I look around for someone who might look fancy enough to be the one in charge. If I can't find anyone, I'll just go to the bartender.
There is the bartender there, but
Hmm?
before you get a chance to go over to them, you see a woman who just walks straight over to you. She's looking
And
at you. I will mention that her jewelry seems to be more paste than actual jewelry, unlike this picture. It's the cheap versions that's more sparkle.
yeah, he will look at her and say, "Can I help you, miss?"
I can help you.
Indeed.
You've made bad friends.
He doesn't say anything, and then he looks at her. He has this kind of look in his eyes that says, "Who is this woman, and what does she know?" So he will say, "Let's talk privately."
She's just going to turn right on her heel and walk towards one of the back rooms because there's a dining room that can be rented out to the back, and it's currently not been rented out.
He will follow her.
And she's going to sit down. Mother won't want to hear you.
Okay. Um, I'm guessing that Flynn gave Peter the name of the one he was supposed to talk to, right?
Nope, just
No.
the
Okay.
address.
That's the address. Ah, I take your mother is the person in charge of this place.
He is.
Well, I'm sorry, miss, but I'm gonna have to have a no, no, nay, strike that. First of all, I need to know who you are and what you know, and what you think you know about me. He's changing his voice, by the way. He doesn't want people to recognize his voice as well.
I don't have my new name yet, but I was called Cassandra.
Hmm.
Mother hasn't taken me to be christened yet. He won't be happy that you're here to try and take from him.
May I ask who Mother is?
You know him as Senwin.
He nods. I know the guy. All right. Well, well, certainly I shall not, I shall not act against my associate. He says, and says it in a way that makes it clear that he's referring to Senman. Um, I. Well, you can tell whoever I think I'm guessing that he sent you. You can tell him that he has nothing to fear. He will
He didn't send me. He doesn't know
all
you're here.
right. Well, the more the better. You have my word, miss. I shall not uh, press this particular matter further. I will have to find some way of. Uh, okay. Um. Yes. Anyway.
Do you want me to give a message to Mother, or would you rather he didn't know you were here?
I would prefer that he did not know that I was here. And I shall take my leave again.
Okay.
And thank you for, shall we say, approaching me back there before I met Senman. That would have been very awkward indeed.
Yes.
Um, and he stands up and he nods at her and say, "Well, I will expect to be seeing you, Miss Cassandra. I will
I look forward to meeting you properly at my christening.
I do as well." And he nods and then he turns around and he leaves the pub because he knows that he cannot, or rather he will not act against his clanmate. That would be a betrayal of a of a proportion that he can't really see, and he does not want to betray his fellow kindred for the sake of this ridiculous little bragger. So he leaves the pub and he goes back to his apartment, or shall we say room, in order to ponder what the fuck he's going to do.
Do you want to continue, or do you want to ponder out of character as well as in character?
I I have no idea how to proceed right now. Either or. Out of character, I have no idea how to proceed in character. So
So
yeah,
there the scene will end.
yeah, probably. I think that's for the best for the moment.